Hi friends, it's and welcome back to another video. Today I am doing something really exciting for me, at least, which is I am setting up a monthly reading log, but it's different. It's different from the reading log I already have, in that this shows how much time I'm spending on each book that I'm reading, as well as it gives me space to mark off my 5-star reads. So I'm very excited about that. It's starting with just a simple monthly calendar setup. And so here, each of my squares is 6 dots by 6 dots. That's because I'm using the 8x8 journal, but if you're using a smaller journal, just make sure that you have enough room for, the month, right? I'm also splitting it across 2 pages just because I wanted to have enough room to write the titles and also to be able to fit multiple books on the same day, because Lord knows I read multiple books at the same time. So before we go any further, comment down below what you are currently reading. I have finished every single book that I was reading up until this point, but the most recent book I finished was Thin Air by Kelly M. Parker. And this is not in the plan with me, just because I am recording the voiceover later, right? You know how that goes. But it is absolutely bananas. It's if you took Agatha Christie's And Then There Were None and set it on a private jet full of private school kids who are trying to get a scholarship to college and this really prestigious internship. No wonder someone ends up dead. I also recently finished People to Follow, which is similar vibes with the And Then There Were None, right? It's a very common trope nowadays. But this one, that one was focused on a private island instead, full of influencers. Again, no wonder some people ended up dead. When the most recent book that I read, which I absolutely loved, was Midnight is the Darkest Hour by Ashley Winstead. Her thrillers are just my favorite, my absolute favorite. I have never gotten approved for one on NetGalley. I don't know why. Sourcebook Landmark, if you're listening, she's my favorite. I have not given any of her thrillers lower than 5 stars. But this one is focused on a small town in Louisiana, and Stitch just hopped up. So he's here. He's gonna chew on the cord. Yes, hello Stitch, hello. But it's a small town in Louisiana, which it is extremely religious. And we focus on the preacher's daughter, as well as her friend, but there's definitely some feelings there, who's kind of an outcast. And we go through sort of past and present timelines and find out, that everything in this town is not as it seems, and that there are a lot of secrets. It's a gothic thriller with elements of Twilight and Bonnie and Clyde mixed in. You also have to remember that the characters in this book are not good people. Ashley Winstead's thrillers are always, the characters are not good people. So, you can't really root for them. But believe me when I say that this book is 100% going on my 5-star reads for the month. And so what I'm doing here is you'll see it when I start to log One Dark Window, because I just took ages reading that book. I don't really know why. But what I'm doing is when I start a book, I am highlighting that day, and I keep highlighting until I finish that book. It's as simple as that. It's really, really easy. But it lets me see how much time I'm spending on books. So like, if I had made this for the last month, The Fragile Threads of Power by V.E. Schwab would have taken 6 days, right? The One Dark Window took 6 days to get through. But, in contrast, Two Twisted Crowns took 1 day. At least I think. It might have taken 2, but like it's I don't know, it tells me more than stats in a way, or at least it tells me something different, which is like, oftentimes if a book takes me too long to read, and let's say it's short, it's not like 800 pages or anything like that, I start to lose enjoyment, because I've lost that like new thing. And so this weekend has just been like marathoning 1-day books. And I feel like there's something a little bit different there too, where if I read a book in 1 day, it either means that I really liked it or I really didn't. So it's just one or the other. There's no in between. Also, one of y'all commented on my last video, and you were just like, this is Stitch's channel. we're just here for him. And really, like, he is obsessed with being on my desk. He is right next to my microphone as I'm recording this. You might be able to hear like his little purrs and snores. And sometimes it's fine. Like, sometimes he's not getting in the way, but other times his tail is all over the place and he's biting pens, and like, I'm just not a huge fan of that. Also, we just wrapped up Cozy-thon, which is our first cozy readathon. And so Cozy-thon ran from Friday through Sunday, and let me see. I can look at my little thing. I think I read 4 or 5 books during that time, so I'm not mad about that. My favorite was probably Midnight is the Darkest Hour, but I was also a big fan of Two Twisted Crowns. If you're in the mood for a very angsty fantasy with some elements of romance, I would go that way for sure. I just finished One Dark Window, and then immediately went to read the sequel, so like that should tell you something, because usually I'm like I'll wait, I'll like let it steep for a while, there's something else I'd rather be reading. No, this was like immediately dive in, I need to read it. Fantasy Fall is also going pretty well. I think 3 of my books this month have been fantasies with a sci-fi and then a romance, but there was definitely some fantasy elements in it, which I feel like is the mood for October for sure. But yeah, I think next, I'm not sure what I'm gonna read next. It's either gonna be Totally Folked by Penny Reed, or I might go full October and read Bright Young Women, because that is our book club book for the month. I don't know. I don't know. I'm a mood reader. I have no idea what I'm doing when it comes to this sometimes. But I'm just going in and adding a few more little embellishments. But I think that this is probably my favorite spread for this month. Let me know if you like it, and if you want to see me set this up in the future. Go ahead and hit that like button if you like this video. Stitch really loves it when he gets likes on his videos. And subscribe if you want to see more. I'm on a 2 video a week upload schedule, so there should be a new video on Wednesdays and Sundays. And as always, happy planning.